That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Yeah. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.
2, 1. Why are you looking at the camera?
Because it's crooked.
The camera's crooked. That's all right.
Trey moved it.
No, Pete's got his dog in here and he's running. No, the dog didn't do it. I'm not going to blame it on the dog. He's chewing on a pine cone and we're going to be chewing on some bass fishing here in just a minute. But before we get started, because we got a great guest lined up. This one's been a long time coming, local pro that fishes national level, and everybody knows him, but we're going to make sure that you all get to know him. But before we do that, we're going to talk about OneCast Fishing. Go to OneCastFishing.com, use the code TheOneCast, all one word at checkout. Save a bunch of money, get your hands on all the snagless jigs, the weedless nets, the soft plastics, the long neck hooks, and the merchandise over there that Ben graciously makes you guys every single day of the week. And while you're online, head on over to CarolinaWatersNC.com. Use the code TheOneCast, all one word at checkout, and get all that UPF gear that keeps you protected from those UV rays. Hunting season's right around the corner. Get that buck stopper shirt. It's going to keep you protected from those mosquitoes because they're out bad right now. Then while you're online, use that link that's always provided to save 15% on Hobie Eyewear. It's going to take you directly to the website. It's going to discount it. You're going to get like $100 and something pair of glasses for like $85. They got the floating frames, the lifestyle frames. They got prescription sunglasses, all the different options that you guys can choose to look stylish on the water and stay protected. We recommend the floating frames, and check out that new whole float frame, which is 100% upcycled kayak plastic. And then download Deep Dive. Go to your app store, download that application, pay $80 a year, get the annual subscription. It's going to help you guys break down bodies of water. They got tons of features on there that they use from tournaments and different data sources. They culminate all that together and make it possible for you to go out there and catch more fish. And then finally, it's going to make you want to move to Central North Carolina, which is exactly where we're at. And our guest isn't too far from us. You're going to hit up our Uncle Terry Carpenter T at hpw.com. He is with Howard Perry Walson and Caldwell Banker. He is a licensed realtor here who's constantly turning houses. But more importantly, he's an avid outdoorsman, bass fisherman. He knows exactly what you're looking for to get you in that house. Make sure you can get that boat in the garage. Did I do it?
You nailed it. You nailed it.
Man, I feel like a radio talk show host right now.
Hey, I mean, you're about to retire. You got a new profession.
I know, right? We got a great guest lined up. I'm sure you guys are excited about this. Pete, you look a little worn out. You just come from work.
Yeah. Some of us actually have jobs.
He's got to work that, get my coffee in the morning, 9 to 5. Or actually, he's like a 6 to like 5er. You work too much.
Yeah.
You work too much. We got to get our guest here to give you a job. That way you don't have to work there.
Work so much. I feel like I would probably work more.
You'd be a bait tester, dude.
Yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. What's going on in the fishing world before we get this cracking? Anything?
Pat Schlapper won the elite down there at La Crosse.
Pretty big deal.
A little bit of a come from behind. I mean, he was in the top 10, but had a good bag the last day. Chris Johnson, back-to-back AOI. Mm-hmm. Despite what Bass's story is, he is the 4th or 5th.
I don't know. I thought there was some inaccurate information.
There's 1,000% inaccurate information because Skeet Reese won it back-to-back, and they did not count him.
It's like 2008, 2009, Skeet Reese.
Yeah, they didn't count him when Mercer was talking about it, and I'm pretty sure that's because he bashed Bass when he left and went to another organization, and so I feel like they're trying to erase history. But he did, whether they like it or not, win back-to-back AOIs, and I think.
And he retired this year.
He did. He retired. So congrats to Chris on back-to-back AOIs. Tough feat to win one, but to win them back-to-back like that. If you're one of these trolls or tools that are online talking smack, call them a whole buzzard, just go join the elites, compete, and beat them because apparently you're better. And that one's really funny to me because the hole they're claiming him to buzzard is the one that from St. Lawrence last year, which is literally a hole that him and his brother put on the map in the elite. So that's always funny that he's being called a hole buzzard in his own hole. You know what's funny? Not that it's his hole.
Yeah.
But.
And it's funny. You talked about like the internet trolls and stuff. Look, man, obviously everyone enters an individual contract on your social media platform. You can say what you want to say as long as it's within their rules and guidelines. But I'll tell you this, there's a lot of people like, oh, he's sharing information with his brother. That should be illegal. I'm like, all the anglers share information with each other. As long as it's a current competitor in that league, it's totally legal to share information. These guys work together as a team. We're going to talk to one of them today that may work as a team or an individual. I don't know. But you're probably a lot stronger when you work together as a team. And the Johnston brothers have been working together as a team since, I don't know, forever, so it is what it is. Congratulations.
So just don't talk on the internet crap about people because that just proves your irrelevancy. But yeah, that's really it in the fish world. The whole team thing with MLF is going on right now. I haven't really followed it at all.
They're still trying to flesh out who made it, who didn't make it.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. Fortunately, I know our good friend of the show, Matty Wong, will not requalify.
He made a great post.
Yep. So
stepping on.
He's got a good thing lined up. Though he'll be good. You're still going to see Matty around, and then the rest are to be determined. They got to do all that bass math. So
yep.
All right, that's enough talking about other people fishing.
Yeah.
You haven't said who the guest was yet. You just said everybody knows them, and then you said we're going to introduce them to everybody. So
the thing is, they're going to know it from when they click on the title.
Oh, that's true. We could change the title and not make it obvious.
Let's change the title.
We could make a super trolly clickbaity title.
Could we put like special guest and then black out his face and then
change his voice,
swim baits and stuff like that? Yeah.
He's sitting in the background laughing.
But if you follow fishing and you didn't know him, you probably do from iCast. He had a really awesome release with Strike King. So without any further delay, you thought I was going to say, dude. Without further delay, let's bring on our good friend, Matt Tater Hog McBee, who's going to hide his face so we can keep the
Hello, this is me disguising my voice. What's going on, fellas?
Hey, how you doing, brother?
I was actually into the show. I was like, man, that's pretty cool. They're talking about
I'm telling you,
jumping, teams. I'm like, if I'm on a team, I'm a 1-car team.
Hey. We've talked to numerous guys, and that's, everybody does it differently. They always, a lot of them have their different methods to the madness, but if you run solo, you run solo. If you don't, you don't. And, we're going to talk about that here in a little bit, but Matt, you've created, just a legacy in this industry and are continuing to create it. And, people want to hear about that. People want to hear about how you, like, where you come from, what got you into this, the sport of bass fishing or fishing in general. So, if you can break that down for the audience, like, people know Tater Hog, but do people know Matt McBee? Where's Matt McBee from? And give us the story.
Well, I'll go way back. I grew up in Indiana, believe it or not. I was born and raised in Indiana, and I didn't move to North Carolina until I think it was 1997. But we had a little creek behind our house in Indiana. It's called Sugar Creek. And my father was big into fishing. We used to go every year to Canada. I'd go to Canada from the time I was 7 till I was probably 24 for at least 1 year out of the, in the summer, we'd fish, up in Canada for smallmouth and all kinds of pike, muskie, and stuff like that. So I always did, I got the fishing fever from my father. And then we had the creek behind our yard. In Indiana, there's really not a lot of lakes and stuff. It's central Indiana, close to Indianapolis. One of the major creeks is Sugar Creek. And my dad actually had a guy come out with a backhoe, and literally the creek wouldn't be more than knee high. He had it dug out to where he had like a 7-foot hole, had pea gravel put in it, and literally all the smallmouth in this creek found this hole. And I would go down and every evening. It was like clockwork. It was kind of like a pond. Between about this time of night, they would crush a jitterbug. I mean, you would catch 3 to 4 pound smallmouth, 20 to 30 of them for about 40 minutes. And then I'd go home and come back.
That was it.
Yeah, but that's kind of where I first got my.
He's like, man, this smallmouth fishing's easy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was. Yeah, there's some largemouth in there too.
He took that jitterbug up St. Lawrence this year.
No, that's kind of the bait I kind of got away from. Man, I think people kind of got away from the jitterbug. It's like probably the first topwater bait I used in my life.
So Dad took you down to that hole.
Yeah,
he made the hole, but who got you down there? You?
Yeah, well, it was just literally. I mean, back when I'm in my 50s, dude, we didn't have the internet. We had 3 TV channels.
Yeah.
Like I went outside and played all the time. I had a basketball court and I shot basketball all the time and played high school basketball in Indiana, which is kind of like saying you play football in Texas. High school basketball in Indiana would be like playing for a Division II college team.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's great. Like I played in front of 4,000 and 5,000 fans. Actually, Newcastle, Indiana. And this is getting off the topic. I don't mean to get off topic fishing.
No, you're good.
The world's largest high school gymnasium is in Newcastle, Indiana. And I played a basketball game there in front of 12,000 people. It's dug out kind of like Carver or Hawkeye Arena, I guess, where the Iowa team plays. Mm-hmm. You would never know it's that big because it just looks like a building, and you literally walk into it and it's dug into the ground. And it's the world's largest high school gymnasium. Look it up on Google. And it's in Newcastle, Indiana, and holds like 12,000 people.
Did you play basketball? Was it high school basketball?
Yeah, I played high school basketball. We made it to the final 32. Like you guys remember the movie Hoosiers?
Yeah.
Yes.
Everybody remembers the movie Hoosiers. All right. Back when I was in school, this is in my last year. My senior year was 89. That's telling my age. Right before 1990. We didn't have a class system, meaning every school was in the tournament, and a single A school could play a 5A school. And that's what made the movie Hoosiers so popular, was it was the little tiny school made it all the way to the Final Four and played the 5A school.
Yeah, gotcha.
And that's why but back then you didn't have internet. So all these little towns, that was what they did on Friday night. They went to the gym and watched their high school team play, and the stadiums were packed. Like, it was crazy. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it.
I mean, when you went out on that court that, was basically built like, a nuclear facility, it sounds like, or a nuclear launch site. Were you nervous when you walked onto that court and saw all them people?
Actually, sometimes you kind of got excited, but it's weird when you play. Like, I can remember going to the free throw line, and there's like 8,000 people, and they're like waving and all that, and you're screaming. When you're literally at the free throw line, it's like sometimes in a movie where it's like everything, when you're concentrating, everything is like mute. You don't hear a thing. And then the minute that you shoot it, it's weird. Then it's like you hear all the noise again. If you're that concentrating, because I don't know.
Yeah.
I was never nervous. I was probably better with a crowd than I was at practice.
It's kind of like when you're going to shoot a deer or something. If you hunt, like, all of that is gone. You don't hear any of the birds, it's still going on. Just you're concentrating on making that shot. Same thing. So yeah, that's crazy though. I never thought about that in that situation.
So what was life like in Indiana? I mean, you played basketball, you caught smallmouth, like shooting fish in a barrel, it sounds like. And then you graduated high school there. And then where'd you go from there?
I went to college at a school called Ball State University. Mm-hmm. And it's in the MAC school. Some famous people, but David Letterman went there. The guy that created Garfield. Do you guys remember Garfield?
Yeah.
Jim Davis went there. I'm trying to think of some other people. It's a MAC school, Miami of Ohio, Bowling Green, Ball State, like a mid-major school. It was kind of cool because when I was there back to basketball, Rick Majerus was our head coach, and I actually roomed. I wasn't on the team, but I roomed with two players that were on the basketball team, and we actually went to the Sweet 16. We lost to UNLV when UNLV crushed Duke when they had Johnson and Grandmama and Stacey Augmon. Yeah. Ball State actually, we lost to them by 2 points in the Sweet 16. Then they went on to beat Duke by 32 in the finals. We were their game where they almost got upset on their run to the national championship. So, but I mean, there's not a lot to do in India. I mean, hunting's good. You guys are hunters. Like, our deer are huge because they eat corn. Like, it kind of confused me when I first moved here. Everybody's talking about, I got to go put out my corn. I got to put out my corn. I'm like, what are y'all talking about? Corn everywhere. And we just have little blocks of woods. I mean, how hard is it? You just go get in the woods and wait.
The deer don't eat tobacco around here, and there's plenty of that, so they got to plant corn.
Yeah. We had corn there. Ours are already fed.
Plenty of corn in Indiana. Yeah, for sure.
It's pretty much corn, and more corn.
So what'd you go to school for at Ball State?
I went to Ball State I started out, I thought I was going to do telecommunications, but believe it or not, I couldn't pass the typing test to get into the TCOM college. I really couldn't type.
You were just finger pecking away and just wasn't happening.
Yeah. So then I just went in and I got a marketing degree.
Oh, okay. Well,
I tell people all the time I got a BS from BSU.
There you go.
Hey, yeah.
In marketing, which is BS.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So you got a marketing. I mean, obviously, that's we talk to a lot of anglers that, speak to the youth. There's a giant youth movement and stuff. But, if you were to look back in your past, has that marketing degree, has it benefited you in the industry?
Yeah. One of the things that I was one of those guys that I went to college more for went for me, but I kind of struggled in school. Like,
sure.
There were times I thought, man, am I going to make it all the way? But I just kept doing it. I still remember when I graduated, the dean of business handed me my diploma, and he had me like my sophomore year. And I walk up to get my diploma, and his exact words were, "You've got to be kidding me." Like, he couldn't believe I graduated. I was like, no, I can't believe it either. But looking back on it, one of the classes I had, I remember the guy was talking about product differentiation. And at the time in the 90s, Michael Jordan was in his heyday, and how Nike used Jordan to differentiate their product from everyone else. Just do it. They're like him wearing the shoes. These are the best basketball shoes. And,
what was he on? Be like Mike?
That kind of stuff. But that was what I took from it, was being different in an industry. Sure. And you can charge a premium when you are different. Yeah. So when I relate it back to my baits, I could never sell to the masses. So my strategy was to make a high quality bait at a higher price because of how long it takes me to make it. And my supply, it's supply and demand. I don't have that big a supply, so make it look a lot better than the mass production stuff.
Sure.
And you can charge a premium, and you differentiate your product from the competition.
That's right.
And I tried to make my stuff look different from the competition.
Yeah, when we're not that far off in age, and 53 is the new 25, so congratulations. But that was the narrative that was always, at least when I was a kid, right? It was like, graduate high school, go to college, get a degree, get a good job. And that's been argued big time, especially nowadays, with how much you can make a living doing so many different unique things. But I always, at least on the angler side, and we'll get to that here in a little bit, but a lot of these young guys and gals are trying to make it in the fishing industry, specifically being anglers, right? Tournament anglers and stuff like that. But I still think it's important for some, maybe not all, that they have some credibility behind them. Maybe it's a degree, maybe it's a family-owned business. It doesn't matter, right? So it's good to hear that you've actually used. It's good for once to hear somebody like, I used a little bit of my college experience to be successful in life. Yeah. Oh yeah. That's the biggest thing that I guess I got from college was when I was there, because you wonder, do you really have to nowadays? I don't know. Cause now they're looking for more trade jobs. Like people, they say sure. A lot of these kids, like they don't know how to weld. They don't know how to work on a car. Like there's still a lot of good trade. You don't have to go to college to be successful in life. But looking back on it, there was a professor that told me, I was like, you really have to do this. And a lot of things they say back when I was in school was employers are looking for the person that wanted to do something extra. So when they think, well, you only had to go to high school, but if he was willing to go 4 more years to college, then maybe that's just a filtering tool.
Yeah.
saying this guy's willing to do a little extra than the average person. It's just,
that's right.
Once again, you're trying to differentiate yourself from everybody else.
Yep. Set yourself apart. I mean, heck, some guys don't even know how to use a multimeter. You know what I mean? Like that's a ding at a good friend that we all know. And we'll tell you later. But no, I think it's important, like I'm still in school right now at 40 years old. I'm still in school doing school and getting an undergraduate. And I'm not doing it for any other reason than just to dedicate myself to something and keep my mind focused. And, and I told my kids, I was like, I don't care what you do. I just want you to do something and be happy. You know what I mean? And so if that's college for some people, that's college for some people. But what were you like in college though? Were you reserved, studious, or were you like old school?
I was probably in between.
Your wife's not going to listen to this. It doesn't matter.
She actually helped me graduate.
Yeah,
she was already.
BSU.
Yeah. Well, I tell this story all the time because my wife's actually a pharmacist and she went to Purdue University. She graduated with a 4.0. She was really smart.
Oh, man.
I graduated with like a 2.4 GPA. Hey. I still remember my first interview. The guy was like, well, what was your GPA? And I was like, I had a 3.0 my freshman year. I was trying to I went down from there. But like I said, I got my degree. They can't take it away from me. I tell people all the time, I'm the dumb one in the family and supposedly she's the smart one, but I married her and she married me.
True. That's true. That's so true. And
so I guess I have street smarts.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you got a 2.4 GPA, but was that because you weren't studious or because you were tater hogging it up there?
Both.
Oh,
I was studious. The crazy thing is a lot of my best grades were the classes that I never studied for. And I mean, I was proud of my C's in statistics and economics and all the little crazy, like I really studied a lot to get the C that I got. But back then, I mean, I don't know. I got my degree. It's history.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. It doesn't say your GPA on your diploma. So whatever.
I ended up using it for this and work for myself. So
hey, for the audience, I promise this isn't a college recruiting campaign or anything like that. But for Matt himself, this is just a question I have for you about college, and maybe you can answer this for a lot of the fishing industry. Maybe not the fishing industry, but do you think artificial intelligence is making a lot of college irrelevant now?
Really? Google and everything now.
He said Google.
Well, no, I mean, I'm not just, which is, Google has its own AI too. I mean, I've just starting to get into it. I need to train myself more on the AI stuff. But I mean, I'm just thinking when you want to fix something now, you go to Google and search and there's a YouTube video. And
I tell you what, stuff. The other day I had an issue with my water heater. I needed to replace it. And so I took out my phone and pulled up Chat GPT and turned on camera mode, or maybe I used Grok and it's like, okay, this is what's going on. Look at this. And it was like, okay, these are the issues. This is how you fix it. Here's a diagram of what you need. It's like in 5 minutes, it had all the answers, and I could go do it myself, which is crazy.
It is crazy. And Matt, you talked about the need for trades and stuff like that. It's man, AI is making it possible for you pretty much do anything. But a lot of us, I'm not gonna, there's certain things I'm just not gonna do, I'm probably not gonna make my own glide bait. You know what I mean? Yeah. But Tater Hog does.
He's the expert.
Well, when I started, I actually picked up a block of wood and carved out the shape and then had to mold it and then test it. And now, there's more people that do what I do now. Yeah. And they can there's programs written or they scan something into a computer and print it out on a 3D printer and make a mold. And so I guess it kind of takes, which I'm not knocking it or anything, but it kind of takes away the handmade part of it, I guess.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I agree with you. So after college, where'd you go?
After college, my dad had an insurance agency in Indianapolis. And then I got my insurance license and he opened an agency up and I helped him out. Well, actually, while I was in college, my junior and senior year, I actually had an insurance agent license. I actually sold high risk car insurance. Like I actually remember when no one knew who Progressive was. I was a Progressive agent.
Oh, wow.
And Progressive got big. Like I used to have to convince people, hey, this is a really good company. And it wasn't until they did a couple Super Bowl ads and then everybody's like, oh, okay, I know who Progressive is now.
Did you meet Flo?
Huh?
Did you know Flo?
That was pre-Flo.
No, Flo wasn't around then. This is in the 90s. But I would actually do tickets. I did high risk insurance. Like I had a computer and I was an independent agent. We had like 30 different companies. I had a Yellow Page ad. It was like McBee Insurance, call McBee and be worry free. That was our little.
I like that.
Yeah.
And like people would, dude, I dressed up in a Bumblebee suit one time and was waving the sign.
Hey, that marketing green, that
yeah.
differentiate yourself.
I got a marketing degree and I'm dressed up as a bumblebee.
Basically people called, like the Yellow Pages back then was big. I had a Yellow Page ad. People called me on the phone when they got canceled by State Farm or Allstate because they got a couple tickets or a DUI. Yeah. And I was the guy that tried to get your insurance back in line for the next 3 years until that stuff dropped off your record so you could go back to a regular insurance company. So our rates were like 3 times higher than what they were when you got canceled. But then I was searching 40 companies for the best high price, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I did that for, I don't know, till 97, till we moved here. I tried it. I tried to do it. Once I got to North Carolina, the internet was coming on. Yellow Pages were kind of fading out. I didn't know really where to advertise to get quotes because I just wasn't as talkative as I am. I'm not the type of person that's going to say, hey, can I quote your car insurance? Hey, how are you? Like cold calling people. I did it. You get hung up on, you feel rejected. I liked it when they called you and said, hey, I need a quote. And it got complicated when Google came out because you didn't know where to advertise. There were so many different places. And to tell you the truth, guys, this is kind of how I got into the fishing thing. It all relates. I wasn't successful when we moved here in North Carolina like I was in Indiana. And I kind of got depressed. Some people drink and go out and do something. I went fishing all the time. And then kind of got into, hey, let me try making some of these baits. I saw some stuff on eBay and then first 5 or 6 auctions just kind of exploded. Like so I was repainting a bait that cost like $9 and it would go for like $125.
Oh, wow.
On a 7-day auction. And I was like, holy cow. And people would say, you know how guys would say, oh, they probably bid it up. No, I wasn't bidding nothing up at all. When it was at $30, I was excited. And I was like, man, I made, $25. Took me an hour to paint this. And there were times it would go for $120. And then people started sending me baits to paint. And it just kind of took off from there. And then I kind of got out of the insurance part of it because in North Carolina, I wasn't as successful as I was in Indiana on the insurance side.
When you were painting, what were you painting to begin with?
I tried to what was usually key was if it was a popular bait, say back then Vision 110s, the Mega Bass had just come out and somebody won a tournament in Florida, so they were pretty popular, but they didn't have a lot of different colors. Mm-hmm. So if you painted like, say, okay, before Sexy Shad, because I started doing this before Sexy Shad, but say when Kevin Van Dam won that tournament and Sexy Shad was really a popular color, if you found that what was a hot color on another company's brand and you put it on this company's brand because they didn't offer it, that went for big money because they couldn't get that color on that bait. That's all you had to do. So you just kind of like look for hot colors and look for a bait that wasn't offering that color and painted that color.
That makes sense. I've got a couple 110s that were, I don't know when they were painted my grandmother, she had a friend that used to collect baits. He used to fish. He's probably in his 70s or 80s now. Tons of old Wiggleworths he's still got. But I bought some 110s and they were custom painted. I think originally by the guy who started 6 Cents.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Casey's
but-
Customs.
Yeah. Back, and there was a sexy shad too. One of them. So it was like,
Well, when I was on eBay, it was me first and then Casey. And it was pretty much me and Casey. And we used to he was kind of my competition. I had some fun with him all the time. Like, I got some stories.
that's awesome.
You got some stories, but not for the audience, right?
No, I don't talk too much now. I know who he is. He knows who I am. And that's about it.
Yeah.
So it was kind of like grumpy old men kind of stuff.
Well, what brought you down here to, over
here?
down here?
Sort of down, more over.
Oh,
Indiana's north.
straight north.
It's north of the Mason-Dixon line. It's definitely down.
Oh, well, what brought you
This is
here?
in the south.
Well, what really is kind of a weird story, because I was doing the insurance in Indiana. A guy came in. My wife calls me, and my wife's, of course, she's a pharmacist. She got an offer we actually went to Charleston on a vacation. While we're going to Charleston, there's a hurricane coming. So we stopped in Charlotte for 2 days to see what this hurricane was going to do, because we had a week trip booked in Charleston for just a week holiday, like a vacation. While we were here, she starts looking through the paper and she sees an ad for a home infusion pharmacist, which is different than just being at like CVS, where my wife knew how to make the IV drips and stuff that are in your arms in the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmacists have to mix that stuff up. So she wanted that was kind of her dream job. Well, she applied for it. We go back to Indiana. They call her and ask her for an interview. I didn't love the cold weather. Indiana's cold. Charlotte was a booming city. It was growing. This is like 97. Mm-hmm. At the same time, they called and offered my wife a job. Somebody came in my local business area, another insurance guy, and said, "Hey, I want to buy your agency." And at the time, I was in Muncie, where my college was, and I had my own agency. And I was like, "Funny, you want to buy it?" I didn't tell him, but so I sold my agency right then and there. My wife takes a job, and we both move, and we have a 9-month-old daughter, which she's 28 now. So we moved with no family, nobody, just moved here. Tracy took the job. I actually thought I could just do insurance here, which I was wrong and got led to this. But what was really strange about the whole thing, something was telling me, yeah, this is what we're supposed to do. 2 weeks after I sold the agency, I was in a strip mall where my agency was. Next to me was a hair salon. It's like Hilbert's Hair Salon. And all these elderly women would come every week and get a washing set. My grandma used to do it on Friday. They would get their hair washed and set. Well, one of them was like, I don't know, it's like a thing for elderly people to get their hair done every Friday in Indiana. Sorry, I'm not trying to offend anybody. I'm just telling the story.
My grandma did the same thing.
Yeah.
All right. Well, one of these ladies was like, I don't know, she's probably 75, 80. She was on some kind of medication, but something happened where she just lost control of her car. She literally drove through my old building, like knocked all the bricks, destroyed my desk. I would have been sitting there. I was at this desk every day at 8:30, and that's when it happened. So there's times I think, man, I might have died right then and there. Like, it literally knocked the building down.
Wow.
It's kind of funny how things are just kind of, I don't know. I think things just happen for a reason in life.
Yeah,
So
I agree.
Yeah, we moved here. Wife took her dream job. Insurance didn't work for me. Got into bait making, and I'm on a podcast with 2 crazy guys right now. 3 crazy guys. 2.
I was going to say, who's the one
it's
that's
2 and one's not really crazy. We're not going to say what's what.
Oh, I touched my nose.
I'm really crazy.
We're going to leave it up to the
I'm
audience.
super crazy. No, that's awesome, man. And basically, you moved from second or third world country to North Carolina, where it's becoming a first world country. Google came online. Charlotte was booming. Insurance selling sucks, and so you got into selling bait on eBay. And so at that, you guys, are you still in the same house when you moved down here originally?
Still in the same house.
Are you right on the lake that we're going to talk about here in a little bit?
I'm in the suburbs. I actually live in Concord. I'm probably,
okay.
if anybody's NASCAR fans, I'm probably 3 miles from Charlotte Motor Speedway.
There you go.
Yeah. I can hear them coming around turn 4 when the cars are running.
No kidding.
I'm probably 30 minutes from Norman. Norman's probably just the closest lake to my house. Really, I mean, all the lakes. I can go to High Rock, Norman, Wiley.
Yeah.
Baden.
Sorry, we had
Hillary.
a little technical
I
difficulty.
tend to go to Baden more now because the traffic got so bad in Concord and even over by Lake Norman. Norman's closer. Baden takes me 53 minutes, and now it takes me like an hour and 10 minutes to get to Norman just because of traffic.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to Baden now more than I go to Norman.
Oh, I didn't know you fished on Baden a lot. So
That's my nemesis.
yeah.
You know, like Baden, it's fun when you're biting.
I've only really been there. My club used to do it, and like they did it in July and August. And let's say one of those trips, I went like 3 days without catching a keeper. A lot of short fish, but no keeper fish. And yeah, that's my nemesis lake.
Yeah.
Let's go there in April, like go in
it's
time or winter. It's good.
that's
in
what
winter.
that's what I hear.
So you were on the roll of selling repainted baits and stuff on eBay. When did you pick that block of wood up and start getting into the big swim bait, glide bait game?
Well, eBay, when I first kind of started, before I started painting too, I got to mention this group. I was back before social media. There were, remember the forums, like web forums, like Bass Boat Central. And I found a web forum called Tackle Underground.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of old timers on Tackle Underground that kind of took me under their wings and kind of taught me, well, this is how you paint a bait or repaint a bait. This is how, and I was seeing how some of these guys were building their own baits. Well, while I was doing repaints, more and more people were getting on eBay and auctioning repaints too. They were seeing what me and Casey were doing. And then the competition just my prices started coming down mainly just because of competition. And then I was like, well, I need to try, maybe if I make my own designs, that'll boost my pricing again. And plus I wanted to try it. I was on this forum seeing all these guys do this, and I want to see if I can do it. So I picked up a block of wood, just started carving, and I was like, man, that looks pretty good. Just the fisherman in me thought, man, that looks really good. And I've always said I kind of have a Japanese style to my bait. Mine kind of look like, versus like I would say like Bagley or flat-sided. Most of the Tennessee crankbait guys, I consider that like more the American style. Would you guys agree on handmade stuff?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, it's changed now because, I mean, when I'm talking, this is from the, late 90s, early 2000s. So I kind of was like kind of surprised that I could carve. I mean, I didn't even know I could do it. I just picked up a block of wood and did it. Made my own designs, put those on eBay, and then they started going for like $250, $300. And I was like, man, I enjoy this. It's my passion. I like fishing. It's way better than insurance. And that's kind of how I got into it.
Well, yeah, but how did was the glide bait big swim bait game out at that time? Like,
no, the first big swim bait I saw was probably the triple trout. Triple jointed baits were big.
Yeah, it hasn't really made its way here yet either.
Yeah,
it's more California.
See, I tell people all the time, I just didn't do as many because I would make enough baits, sell them. That's enough money for me, and then I'd go fishing because I like to fish. I really do like to fish more than I like making baits. I tell people all the time I did this for probably 3 or 4 more years before Buka came around.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been doing it longer than him. It's just he just made baits. There was more of his baits out there. So he's probably got more known in the Southeast quicker than I did, just for the fact that I didn't put as many. I guess it's like each bait you put out there is an advertisement.
Right.
So the more you make, the quicker people know about you.
Yep.
If that makes any sense at all.
So when did you start putting a label on the baits? Like when did you start the company, and my question is how did Tater Hog come about?
Well, I was doing those eBay listings like I always did, and I had a weird name, like it was like whatever eBay gave me. It was like 27Y2121. Weird. Yeah. And my wife had this church cookbook my aunt gave her from Middletown, Indiana, and she was just reading through because some of these dishes are like Uncle Maul's squirrel pot stew, and like the dishes are like the titles were funny. So she's just laughing at the titles. Like, listen to this one. And then she gets to one and it was like tater nugget hog dish. Just kind of, and it was like tater tots, sausage, cheese. She's like, maybe we should make this one night. Da, 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 da. And I started thinking about it. I was like, man, you catch a really big fish, it's a hog. You hit a home run, it's a tater. Tater hog.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Right. That's kind of what I know. I talked about it in the Strike King did the little documentary on YouTube. It's like 14 minutes long, and they kind of put it out there on the preview. I don't know if you guys saw the like 1 minute reel.
Yeah.
They explained it better, or I explained it better in the actual 14-minute story, where that the tater means home run hog, or a really versus a hog. It's a bigger hog than a normal hog. Plus, for marketing, I'm like, people will remember that. That's easy to remember.
100%, dude.
Oh, for sure.
I mean, I heard,
right, but I never knew everybody was going to call me Tater. It was just the name of the big company, and they just started calling me Tater Hog. Then I started signing my name Tater Hog.
Did that come out? Did people start calling you Tater after the Ron White skit? Do you remember?
They kind of do that. It was kind of. I don't know if it's subliminal. I kind of saw it, but I didn't really put the two and two
together.
Tater. Tater salad. His skit kind of came out at the same time. Where I kind of screwed up was kind of funny, and I don't know if it's still there. Somebody else actually owns taterhog.com. Dude, log into taterhog.com. See if you.
I don't know. Hold on a minute.
I'm scared.
Pete will right now. Pete will log into taterhog.com. For those who are listening,
the dude dressed up as a devil costume in makeup.
So
it's still there?
I don't know.
I tried to buy the website from him. He wouldn't sell it to me.
So as you're making these things, and as Pete's doing his open source, yep, it's still there.
Yeah,
it's 100% still there.
That was after. This was like 3 years later when I'm kind of popular. I find that out. I'm like, oh my God.
How is he still paying for the domain on that?
I don't know, dude. He let me.
Security.
He did let me for like 2 years because I was like, dude, is there any way? He was like, I'll just prompt forward it to your website. And he did for like 2 or 3 years. And I was like, I was going to give him money. He's like, no, I'll just prompt forward it because I messaged him. I looked it up and I said, hey, man, is there any way I can buy this domain? Mainly because I kind of wanted to get it off the internet.
There's a lot going on.
Did you
picture?
And
yeah,
we're gonna,
I'm gonna break this down,
dude. I'm telling you,
we gotta put this. We gotta
get this happened
picture on the
long after I knew. I would have never probably used that would have been a deal breaker for the name.
I got so many. Why does this dude have 92 VCRs?
First of all, because of never mind.
Yep. No. Yep.
I think first and foremost, this should be the thumbnail picture for this episode. And secondly, I don't know why your packaging doesn't have that picture.
Oh my God.
That's
dude, that was like that in 2000.
That wasn't what I was expecting.
Yeah, I told you. How do you explain that? You don't.
I think I just found my new 2025 Halloween costume.
That dude lost a bet or something. Good night. So that
lost his fantasy league in 2000.
So when he might have
for 20 years.
For 20 years on his fantasy football league lost.
That's kind of my
great bet.
While you talk, I'm going to steal that picture.
You know what? Time out. I know you never did your yoga pants bet, but
I still have to. Why do you got to bring up old dudes?
But that should be a bet sometime for a tournament. Is like you lose, you have to buy a domain for 15 years and be in a costume.
I mean, to be fair, it is only like 99 cents a year if you get in early.
I know Tater knows this. Matt knows this. There is somebody on the D team that will dress up that way at your next Logan Martin event. So
there's more than one person.
Yeah, you should totally.
You get James Watson to do it.
Yeah,
he probably would too.
That's a
James
worldwide Tater right there.
So
what would you do though? You're like, your company's successful 3 years into this, and someone messaged me one day and said, dude, did you see TaterHog.com? And I'm like, no, mine's Tater Hog Custom Lures. And then I look it up. I saw it wasn't available when I tried to get it. I didn't even look to see. And I went, oh
how
my
many,
God.
how many people had to buy baits?
Yeah. Maybe that's why it took me 20 some years to deal with Frankie.
Everybody kept going to TaterHog.com. They were like, I don't know what's up with this dude, but I'm not buying his baits.
or that's exactly why they bought them.
Yeah, it could go either way. But so what was the first bait you sort of carved up and sold? Is it something that's still in the lineup, or?
Yeah, the Hoochie Mama was the first one. That was one of the first ones that I carved up that was popular. Probably the Moonshiner passed it, or the Hogfather Jr. For a long time, the Hoochie, probably for 10 years, was my number one selling bait. It's just that oversized weight bait with the big bulky head and stuff. And then the Moonshiner got real popular on Norman during the shad spawn. You guys can't talk to me in a straight face now.
It's fine.
We'll recover. We're professional.
But no, the Moonshiner got real popular, and I would say, and then when Zaldane kind of did the thing with the Hogfather on Fort, then my glide business like took off big time. And really, the one Strike King like this, I brought it the Junior, because like this was the one that Zaldane was throwing at Fork.
Yep.
The original Hogfather. And then I always liked the Junior, which, believe it or not, there's a history on this. I just happened to call it. I mean, it really is just it's really like, it could be a bass, it could be a herring. It's just a fish, where this is actually a gizzard profile.
Sure.
Right. And I just needed a name. I was like, well, I got the Hogfather. I guess I'll call this Hogfather Jr. But this bait was recarved to this design. I actually have another bait in my shop that I was trying to make for Brian Thrift. Thrift called me, this is years ago, and he wanted me to make a triple jointed bait that would sink really fast so he could fish it on ledges in Kentucky Lake. But he wanted to wind it really slow on the bottom in three joints, like like a trip, like 1, 2, 3 joints.
Yep.
And I could never get it. I shaped it like kind of like a knife so it cut water. I wanted it to drop down real fast, but when he tried to move it slow, it just rolled. To get it to swim right, you had to wind it fast.
Yeah.
I messed with this thing for months, and finally I called Brian. I said, Brian, I can't do it. I can't sink it fast and you reel it slow. It's just not possible.
It won't work. Yeah.
All right. If I sink it really slow, then you can reel it slow. So we just gave up on it. I later on went back to that design because all of my designs start in one piece, and I mold that. Then I cut the joints. I went back to the original one piece. I didn't like the face, and then I recarved on it, and that is the design of this later in made life.
Okay.
So that's how Hogfather Jr. came about.
Where did you test all these baits at prior to putting them on the market?
I would go to Norman. First, I'd test them in my garage, like get them swimming. It's kind of a stupid story, but I got a cow trough because I grew up in Indiana on a farm and we had cattle. And I'm like, well, how can I put water and dump it all the time? And I live in the suburbs in my garage. I ran over to Tractor Supply. Guy saw the guy, said, man, how much for this cow trough? And he's like, well, how many head of cows you got? And I'm like, man, I live in the suburbs. I don't got any cows. I'm fishing hogs, baby. So, I brought the thing back and I thought, if I can get a bait to swim from here to here, it'll swim good.
Mm-hmm.
It's like trying to get something to swim pretty quick, and then I would I have a little pond over here. There's a neighborhood and I'm starting the cow trough, go to the pond. When I really got it tuned in, then I took it to Norman. And I constantly was building new designs because every 5 or 6 designs would sell really good on eBay. And then it would kind of fall off, and then you'd put something else out new. And I enjoyed, like an artist, I like to make something new, not make the same thing over and over. So before I know it, I built like 200 different designs. And then over time of testing them, you start saying, man, they really bite this one right here. Hey, they really like this one. So those became my lineups, the ones that I caught fish on all the time. Mm-hmm. So then after a while, people would buy them like, man, I'm catching them on this one. I catch them on that one. So that's kind of how.
And you were so, my wife, she sells live chicken eggs to all 50 states. Ben, you ship everything out of your garage for OneCast Fishing. Was that what you were doing? You were shipping everything from your house?
Yeah.
And man, that's a task in itself, mailing everything to all the people that are buying all your product, isn't it?
It always feels like, and guys will call me like on a Tuesday, like I ordered a bait on Monday. For some reason, Friday is always my shipping day. So like if you order on Thursday and I ship on Friday, it's because you just happen to order on Thursday.
Right.
If you order on Monday, even though I don't get to the post office with everything for the week till Friday for some reason.
Yeah.
Because shipping, literally sometimes it would take me 7 hours just to box everything up.
Yeah, man.
Tape it up. Yeah.
Are you still doing that every Friday?
It tends to be that way. I would bring so many packages into the post office. They got me to where I can go around where it says employees only. I put them in the back where the dump truck comes.
Yeah, they'll open the door. But you can also I schedule my pickups now every night, and they come the next morning and pick up all my bags. The regular mail guy does. Just download.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just download the USPS app. And you just schedule your pickup.
Yeah, right from the doorstep.
Right from the doorstep.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, we can talk offline about it. We can get you squared away with that stuff.
Huh.
And make it a lot easier.
Trust me, because for probably like 3 years, I was going like every day, go to post office. Saves a lot of time. Even if the post office only 15 minutes, saves a lot of time.
Most people have been like overall, everybody's cool.
Especially in the swim bait world, because some of those. You got those guys that do drops before they make the baits, and it could be months before people get their stuff. So, that your baits are more commercial now, especially with the strike game.
I never did the drop thing. I just let people back order.
Yeah.
But it kind of, the back order kind of gave me pressure too. It made me work. That's like my boss was the back order. Oh, great. I got somebody. If I have somebody's money, I'm pressured. Like, okay, I gotta do this. And that's just how I never got into the drop thing. I mean, I'll make 10 baits every now and then, and hey guys, I got 10 of these, put them up right now. And then, but my baits were a lot higher than everybody else's on the pricing, mainly because I didn't want people flipping them. Like some of these guys will sell a glide bait for $100. Well, all them flippers are buying them, and then they're putting them on eBay for $200.
Sure. Yep.
And I was like, screw that. I'm going to sell mine for $200 so they can't buy them and resell them.
No, it makes sense.
It probably hurt me on the hype part of it a little bit, but then I always said I'd rather make 10 baits as really the best that I can make them for $200. So I get $2,000, then have to make 20 baits as quick as I can for $100, and I still get $2,000.
Yep. It makes sense. And there's a lot of people in the fishing industry that appreciate. I mean, I know that we all do, because we have close connectivity with a lot of manufacturers locally. Like, there's a lot of work that goes into that stuff. Whether or not you're pouring soft plastics, you're making jigs, you're making swim baits. Like, there's a personal connection from the person that makes the baits to your doorstep, right? And so when you're fishing that bait, like, you feel like, man, that person put in a lot of time, and I appreciate that, and people pay for that, right?
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, it doesn't matter if it's a $200-$300 swim bait. Like, people might be pissed off that gas costs so much, but you know what? At the end of the day, they're still gonna buy. They're gonna buy it, man. Like, that's just the way it is. So,
well, I told everybody the bait's free. You're paying for the time.
Sure.
On the handmade, the truly handmade stuff. And what people don't realize too, like, you figure, say you sell something for $100. Most swim baits, most of these guys probably got $15 in material. So now their profit's $85. Then they have to pay the United States government excise tax. Excise tax is 10% of the sale. That's another $10. So now your profit's $75. Well, if it takes you, say it took you 10 hours to make that handmade bait for $100, you made $7.50 an hour.
Well, then that's not including all your admin overhead. Domain,
right.
All
the air conditioning running in the shop.
Exactly.
The website cost to put it online. The shipping, the gas. There's a million factors involved in it.
It sounds like a tournament angler that makes $7,500 with a $5,200 entry fee, and they're like, I cashed a check, and I'm like, you spent money. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is, man. But and we're gonna get to that. But it's no secret that you have made created a legacy in this industry. I mean,
just real quick before we get too far,
Yeah.
the angling piece is definitely gonna be a part 2 because we're basically at an hour already.
Yeah.
But we want to talk about the legacy in Strike King and like how did that come about?
So 2.5 years ago, buddy of mine, Dalton's a good friend of mine from he's a Murray guy.
Mm-hmm.
Dalton calls me on the phone and says, Tater, I think we're gonna make some money for you or something. Would you like to license out your glide bait to us? And I was like, yeah, I'm interested. And I didn't totally understand. I'm like, you want to buy me out? No, they wanted to they said, no, you can keep making your resin ones. We just want to copy your design and put your name on the package and give you like a royalty deal. Kind of like I guess like a record label would do with an artist or something like that. So I was like, well, yeah, they're not buying me out. So I, got a licensing deal with them, or they actually contacted me. And we went back and forth on the negotiation and stuff like that. Corporate stuff takes a lot. Even me, there were times I was like, man, are they still going to do this? Or they're not going to do this? Because they weren't really the first company that contacted me. Because after Chris did his thing, about a year later, another company contacted me. And then they said they were sending me an offer and took my address. And I thought it was coming. And then you're waiting. Like, you don't want to call because you're like, if you call, you act like, oh, I'm real interested. And then maybe your offer is less than what you want.
Sure,
so you
got
to play it cool. Before you know it, 6 months went by. I never got that offer. Then Strike King called. And then you're like, but all in all, it was the best choice for me. I'm glad that the other place didn't send me an offer, or this didn't pan out. But it basically it started with my friend Dalton. The CEO at Strike King went to Dalton, and Dalton's part of the brand management team there in Columbia that brings new things to the market. And Ken went to Dalton and said, hey, we need a glide bait. And Dalton said, well, I think Tater makes the best glide bait I know. And then later on, it made me feel good that another friend of mine, after I've gotten to meet these guys at Strike King, they actually tested, like, I think he said 40 to 50 different glide baits, and they thought mine was the best.
That's awesome.
So they contacted me.
So how did that, it probably didn't happen overnight, like you said. When did you personally time the announcement for this, or was it a cooperation between you and Strike King to do the launch? When the launch was done.
I signed the contract January of 2024.
Wow.
And we thought it was going to be announced ICAST 2024.
Okay.
So I had to keep it a secret from January to July of 2025.
Ooh.
A year and a half.
I mean, you're in the fishing world, like keeping secret. It's hard to do for some people and some people not, but that's a huge deal for your brand and for your family. And the glide bait industry, the big swim bait industry, like it has taken off like crazy. And I'm happy that people can get their hands on. It's the Hogfather Jr., right? That Strike King is.
Yeah, this is the Hogfather Jr. I brought two of them in here. And
so they have a translucent one, huh?
Yeah, see, I was never, you can kind of see the weight system in there, but I mean, mine got the bad camera, but like mine were always solid resin, which this is theirs too. But mine, I could never do translucent colors. So that's one of the cool things that's a neat feature about their bait is there'll be some translucent colors, which is great for clear water. And then they're also able to put rotating hook hangers.
Oh,
I always told people like on mine, I had screw eyes, and the main reason that I did screw eyes is I would have a really long screw almost up to there. I could back it out, drill up in it, and adjust the weights to if somebody wanted one to sink like that, or somebody else wanted it to sink like that. So I could actually special tune the customer's bait to their design.
Okay.
And then I told them to use like braided. You guys know about the braided hook?
That's right. Yep.
Yes, it does the same thing as the rotation.
Yeah.
So if you buy a bait that doesn't have the rotating hook hangers, you can still just tie braid, and to the hook, and it kind of is pretty much similar.
Yeah, and for the audience, what Matt's talking about is, fish when you're fishing a bait with treble hooks, whether or not it's a jerk bait, a crank bait, a glide bait, when that hook rotates and reaches its limit, sometimes the fish can throw the hook. So you guys can look at this on YouTube.
They can leverage the bait.
Leverage the bait out of their mouth,
especially with a big bait, because there's so much surface area there. It's very easy for them to leverage and throw that, which is why a lot of folks will use the rotating hook hangers or the braid, which is what I've done with a lot of them. Or you just run really, really heavy fluorocarbon and grind them and don't give them a chance.
Yeah, you could do that. Doesn't always work out. But
I have a question on just so the glide bait, big bait has always been sort of a booming niche, right? Like there's always been a demand, but it's been small. There's never been an issue selling them if you follow any of the swim bait groups. But it is also a very dedicated community. And there was a lot of negativity when small bait makers or garage makers would go kind of commercial. You saw it with some of the other folks. Was there ever any like concern about your norm? I don't want to say normal, but like your sort of base, your customer base, where you got started with those sort of niche guys. I think Buka was sort of the first one to make the jump, right, and start offering some sort of more branded with some of his smoke. I think the bull shad was the first one, the little one. Was there ever any concern with setting your customer base? If like the guys that are paying $400 for a bait, which I don't think any of yours are that high, but the guys that'll pay $200 for a bait. Was there ever any concern that those guys were going to get turned off because now you've
sold out,
commercialized or sold out to the big tackle industry?
Well, for me, when the glides were so big since COVID, really, I mean, they were big before that, but they were really exploding in COVID.
Yeah, I think that goes back to the taking in content. And they started seeing.
I got like the moonshiner, and then I got the angry. I got like so many different designs. I was so busy from 20, 21, 22, 20. I never had time to make the moonshiner. I never had time to make any of my other designs. So to answer your question, I thought, well, if it hurts my glide bait on just this one, the Hogfather Jr., so be it. I'll go make this other design, and I'll make that design. I'll have more time. It'll free up some of my time, is what I thought. Right. So I took a risk. Plus, I'm in my 50s, dude. My hands are starting to hurt now.
Yeah.
Maybe if I was 25, I would have been, and they came to me at age 25. I'm like, man, do I want to do this? Should I do this? I just got going. I don't know. But I think they hit me at the right time, too. If that makes any sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. Totally.
Yeah. I was ready. Plus of the exposure, I kind of looked at it like, man, I'm going to get – there was tons of people when I would go to shows, man, that's too pretty to fish. I bet that thing's $75. There's no way I could afford it. And I'm like, no, it's actually $275. Like, so there was tons of people there. Man, I would never like. But see, there was lots of people that wanted to buy them, but didn't have the money to buy them, or just they weren't going to spend $250 to buy a fishing lure.
Yeah.
So I kept thinking about, well, there's still going to be my hardcore fan that's going to want my handmade resin ones. But think about all the other people that always wanted it, but now they can start out trying Strike King's version of it. And the cool thing is, dude, I'm telling you guys, it swims perfect.
Yeah, I'm excited to get mine because I have a Hogfather Jr. I throw quite a bit, and I have a Hogfather, and I don't throw as much. I got him at the Classic a couple years ago when you were in with Missile.
Oh, okay.
And
Thank you.
Absolutely. What's that?
My wife appreciates
Your wife
you.
appreciates it. She's welcome.
Is that the Knoxville one?
I don't remember if I got him at Knoxville or whichever one he was at. It might have been Knoxville. Either way, I was excited because it does. You do get a little stress throwing a bait worth that much money around docks and stuff. And so it's exciting. I'm excited to get my hands on some of the Strike King and not be quite as nervous to push it.
No, the only thing with this one, if you want it to sink fast, you're going to have to do some of the little tricks.
Yeah.
You know, like the extra split ring or suspend knots or Gulf tape or wrap the wire, that kind of thing. Yeah. But it's perfect. Like the way we got it now, it's about like this. I mean, it's perfect for springtime when they're on the bed spawning, you know, but everybody's going to, and put it this way, it swims so good. I grab these now because it's just easier for me to paint this than take 7 hours to make one of my other ones.
That's right.
Yeah, I'm excited to get my hands on some. It might be hard when they can be hard to get a hold of when stuff drops like that. But I'm hoping to.
They said they're coming. They're supposed to be in there. Hopefully by October is what they're telling me.
Okay.
So it's coming. Another month.
Hopefully I can grab a couple before we go to Norman for the silver tournament. Do you have any input in colors or anything with them, or have they asked your opinion, or do they just kind of make those sort of creative decisions on their own?
Well, Dalton came to me and he's like, he wanted, let's see, we did the OG, which was the blue and silverish gold one. Mm-hmm. Then I did this transparent. I started doing that. I was like, man, I want to try a transparent color. So we did like a herring color, like a blueback herring. And then they did a chrome. We talked about chrome for like Hartwell. And I said, man, just do straight chrome. And then they did the chrome, but then they painted over it and did. So we got the glass herring, which is transparent. Then we got the chrome herring, which is kind of like they're trying to mimic my foil. Yeah. And then, of course, bone is always probably, honestly, if in doubt, throw bone.
Yeah.
So I did the bone color, this one. The spot remover, Dalton requested spot remover. I designed it, but he said, I want something with chartreuse. They call it spot remover. Then the last two, the brim, and I don't even remember what they named the other, was a herring. The one with the bigger spot, the kill spot.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember.
Mike Russell painted both of those. That was those were his. Or his color combo that they went with those two. So I got, of the 7, I designed 5.
That's awesome. That's awesome that when you make that partnership deal, it's your base design, and that they still want your creative input because it is your name. You know, everybody's going to say I'm throwing the Tater Hog Jr. They're not saying I'm throwing Strike King's glide bait, right? Like they're still going to call it what it is. Name. So that's tied to your reputation a little bit. And I think I'm with you. Like I never got into the whole like people getting upset when guys try to expand, and I always said the same thing. Like now you have folks that can buy a $70 glide bait or $60 or whatever it's priced at, and they might get hooked. And now they're going and buying that $275 bait because they're like, well, now I really want to see what a resin bait will do. Or if they can't, they're still supporting the garage maker, Matt McBee, Tater Hog, by the licensing deal and supporting through Strike King and buying that cheaper bait that they can afford. And maybe they buy 5 of those instead of one expensive one. So I think the community is lessened a little bit, but I wanted to ask you that question because they can be, I'm sure you see the groups, if they can be vicious in them groups, man.
I guess I was always, what is it? Which I'm not. I don't feel like I'm famous or anything like that, but you know how they talk about famous people say, don't read the comments.
Yeah. Joe Rogan's famous for saying, don't ever read the comments.
Right. I just like on some of those groups, I just didn't read it. I just got out of it. I didn't want the drama itself. I tried to stay out of it.
We do the same thing. There's enough drama in real life. We don't need it in fishing life.
It's like post and ghost.
Yeah.
The problem is I want to argue with the people that are creating drama to let them know they're stupid for making drama.
Well, I read one back to when the only time I read the comments was I told you when I fell on the dock and stuck the popper and had the whatever. There was like normally it's usually men that share my posts, right? Well, when my phone was like going bleep 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 bleep, like when you get 2 million views, like I don't know if you guys have ever had a viral video, your phone just is like all night long. Bleep, bleep. So you start seeing these little things that said, Julie Wilson shared your post. Janae shared your post. It's like all these girls are sharing my post. And I'm like, well, this is weird. I don't ever see girls sharing my stuff. I'm like, wonder what Julie said. So you click on it. I was just trying to be entertained. And it was like, hey, Angie, look at this idiot. That was their tagline. I literally was like, look at this dumbass. Look at this. All night long.
I guess I need to go out and make a video where I fall on like a crankbait or something like that. Or I fall on a hog father junior.
I don't know if
I made like $600 off of that video.
Yeah.
Yeah, I made more money than I didn't get a check in Douglas, but I got $600 for falling on my butt and sticking your Facebooks, whatever they're.
Yep.
We always talk about like the stupidest videos are the one like you'll make a really good quality video and you're like, man, this is gonna do awesome and nothing. And then like Trey made a video cutting a snake out of fence one time. It got like
thousands and thousands and thousands.
But then we make like these cool fishing videos where we invest time and it's like 9 views and you're like, what?
One of the stupidest ones I ever had was when Jordan Lake was flooded. I think it was the day I caught that 8-pounder. I was just going in the middle of the lake. I mean, it's literally. It's like I'm ice breaking because I'm just idling right by the dam at Jordan.
Yeah, so all the wherever the debris stacked up. I remember that.
I'm just like, so guys, help me out. What am I supposed to do here? And that's all the video was, and it just blew up. Like, it
just
crazy.
goes to show you, like nobody understands the internet.
No,
nobody understands social media specifically and how it works and stuff. But everybody understands Tater Hog, man. Everybody understands that. And, I agree with Pete on this one. I think we need to, I want to bring you back. We want to bring you back on to talk tournament fishing. Right. And see, that's what makes us a little bit different. We're not always talking. Sorry, I'm trying to hold Pete's dog right now. He's choking.
He's getting crazy.
But we love to talk about all the other things that make, tournament fishing is just such a small part of the industry. And you've clearly made a huge impact in the greater fishing industry. And obviously landing that deal with Strike King is fantastic. But what also is fantastic is that you're still going to continue making those personally crafted baits that are so special to everyone that fishes them. And we want to get you back on to talk about the NPFL side of it. But also I want to learn more about just glide bait fishing in general. I've never caught a fish. I have some glide baits. I've never caught a fish on a glide bait. Just not one of the baits I've gotten into just yet. And hopefully our viewers listening to you talk about this or talk about all this information on this episode shows them, some of the things. Sometimes you get lucky and sometimes you have a marketing degree and sometimes it's right place, right time. But for all the bait makers in the fishing industry, listen to what Matt has to say. Be unique, be different, because I think that does matter. But at the end of the day, like there's the tournament side of it too. We want to bring you on to talk about the tournament side and specifically glide bait fishing side. Would you be up for that?
Oh, sure. Tournament side would be about a 10-minute show for me.
No, because no, because you fish more than just the NPFL.
I sell baits to donate to all the pros.
No, I don't want him to eat the ink. He's got a pen. I forgot to bring a toy for our
Pete
puppy.
needs to train his dog.
My puppy's been in the kennel all day, so I brought him over here to hang out, and I forgot to bring something for him to chew on. So
it's all right. We got like 760,000 pieces of a pine cone down here to chew on. But yeah, man, I think it'd be really exciting to bring you back on and talk specific stuff, glide bait tournament stuff like that. But before we let you go, Matt, obviously don't go to taterhog.com. Actually do go there and just check that picture
I recommend checking the picture out.
Check the picture
It is, you could open it up at work. It's not safe for work. You're going to get looks at. You're going to get looks.
I think do you think he's a Halloween costume? It has to be a Halloween costume.
I think he lost a bet.
So there's a pumpkin in there, so it's around Halloween. And if you look on his face, he's not happy.
I'm fairly certain it's a lost bet, and he's paying for it probably around Halloween. But there's a lot going on in the picture if you just look at around the room.
I think that picture, like if you really break it down, like you could create new names for all your different baits that you may come up with.
Just from that
Like
picture.
I
should try to name a bait after something in that picture that's not obvious.
Like something like if you make a red glide bait, just call it Kool-Aid Man, like something like that.
Red Devil.
Red
Hog
Devil.
devil.
The hog, the devil hog or the hog devil. Yeah. I mean,
the vanilla gorilla.
but I think you're better to look around and go less up. There's like 92 SpongeBob statues on the TV thing. So you could go that route. There's a lot going on in that picture. So definitely go there. But then go to the real website. So where can they actually go and find your stuff?
I got two that I started saying Hog Swag, which is on my hat. Hogswag.com links to my original website, which it's kind of long. TaterHogCustomLures.com. Hog Swag is just easier. HOGSWAG.com. Hog Swag.
Too easy. What about?
Or if you Google, actually, thank God, but if you Google Tater Hog, my website comes up first.
Yeah. I would think there's more traffic to that than the actual, but you never know. What about socials? Where can they check out your stuff on there?
I kind of Matt McBee on Facebook because I actually have Tater Hog Custom Lures on Facebook, but the way that algorithms are with Facebook, when you try to do business stuff, they try to block it, so they tone it down. More people see stuff on Matt McBee. It's weird. Like when I post like a drop, I do it on my personal Facebook page, which is actually a business page too. I got the little blue check and all that. I did that so it's me and you're buying from me. And then Instagram, it's Tater_Hog. And then I think TikTok, I think it might be Tater_Hog.
I'm pretty sure it is. I'll link it all down in the description.
Facebook, I'm on Facebook and Instagram the most.
Yeah.
If you type in Tater Hog, it usually comes up.
Okay.
Matt McBee on Facebook, Tater Hog. The one I'm really on Facebook, I'm not on that much, is actually my company, the actual Tater Hog. Like I'll put something on it and it gets like 3 likes.
No, that's
I got like 9,000 followers.
It's because they want you to pay.
They want me to pay, and I'm like, screw that. So I posted on Matt McBee. And then it gets 700 likes and everybody sees it. I mean, so I use it.
Okay.
Meta.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they got to fund that AI.
What
and
so we're
$1 contracts.
Yeah. We're hoping to see Strike King. They're calling it the Tater Hog Jr. Same name.
Yeah.
Hopefully October. You're saying we hope to see that in stores, online, at your local retailer. Hopefully they're carrying them. If they're not, tell them to make sure they do. So you can check them out. If they want to order from you, this is another question I want to ask, and we can get into it the next episode more in depth. Somebody just starting, they got a couple $100 burning a hole in their pocket, and they want to buy a bait from you. What would you recommend the first bait that somebody wants to get into big baits grabs? Glide, wake, whatever you think that one that's going to be the best for them starting off.
If you want to get into the glide bait, of course, either the Hogfather Jr., you can try Strike King's version too, because it's going to, $45. It swims very similar to my resin one, almost exactly as good as the only difference. My resin one might sink just a little faster. I can control that, but you can make this one sink the same. You're just going to have to tune on it a little bit.
Yep.
But the easiest bait probably for a big bait is just the moonshiner, because it's just a wake bait. Basically, throw it and wind it and wait for them to bite it. This is pretty simple. The glide bait is more with your reel. It's like half crane. Yeah. Glide bait's simple. You guys said you haven't caught a fish on glide bait. Pretend it's a fluke. So you want to do erratic stuff with it under the water, which you're doing it with your handle, which you kind of do that with a fluke. So it's like half crank, let it sit. It's half fluke, half jerk bait when you're letting it sit and being erratic and letting it sit. And then also when you see the follower, you're trying to chop it like a topwater spook. When you're flipping a spook and you're waiting for it, flipping the spook and waiting for it. So pretty much a glide bait is half fluke, half jerk bait, half spook, all under the water.
There you go. That's a sample for what we're going to get into.
Yeah. So the moonshiner.
I got like the peanut gallery. My wife's like, how can it be half of three things?
I wasn't going to call you out on it.
It's 33%.
You're retreating.
33.3%.
You're erratic with the fluke. You're erratic with the jerk bait, and you're walking a spook.
It's really 2.
Do you want to be on the podcast?
You know what? For part 2, we might as well invite your wife on the podcast, and then we can talk about the team effort.
That's right.
Well, Matt,
30 years.
Congratulations,
Yeah.
man. That's awesome.
Yeah.
31. Oh, I forgot a year.
I didn't see anything come flying in the screen yet.
He said 50% in 30 years.
Yeah.
He was wrong on every number.
Half 30, right?
That's why she had the 4-0.
Yeah. She's standing there with like the spatula, like, I will smack you. Matt, we're gonna bring you back on, man. We appreciate you joining us, and it's getting dark. We want to get everyone to bed here, but appreciate if you guys are looking to get into the big bait game. Tater Hog's got it going on. He's got that deal with Strike King, but you can order directly from him for the resin baits. He just gave you a little inside baseball on how to actually fish them. We're going to get more into that when we bring him on for part 2. We appreciate you joining us all the way from Concord, North Carolina. And we hope to see you at the Special Operations Bass Angler Charity Event, which takes place November 7th this year on Lake Norman. Annual Mark McCowan Special Operations Bass Angler Charity Tournament, and which Chief Petty Officer Shannon Kent this year is dedicated to. Matt McBee, go ahead. Tell
the guys to come. I'll bring some of the Strike King baits, and we'll try to do some prizes. How's that?
There you go. So
that'd be awesome.
If you're in the it doesn't matter. We got people that travel all over the country for this event. November 7th, Lake Norman, Charlotte, North Carolina. Matt McBee, Tater Hog himself is going to be there. Please come participate. It's a great event. Just a great lake to fish, and you're going to catch a lot of fish. Stay online real quick for us, Matt. We're going to end.
Thanks for having me on, guys. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to get you back on and helping us continue to grow a culture of anglers, helping Anglers OneCast at it.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Oh, God, it's a toad, son. It's a toad, dude.
Yeah. I wake up to a little bit of drool on my pillow, feel like it's gonna be a bad day.